If you're not getting enough iron, you now are at risk for iron deficiency anemia, which is going to lead to feelings of fatigue and low energy, dizziness, headaches, sensitivity to cold. And this is something that is especially common amongst vegan and vegetarian populations, although not exclusively. Plenty of people who are not vegan and vegetarian also deal with it. But it's especially concentrated in that group because there are two forms of iron. There's heme iron and non-heme iron. Heme iron is coming from animal foods. Non-heme iron is coming from other sources like plants and algae, etc. So one of these is absorbed way better than the other. Heme iron is the one that's going to absorb way more easily. If somebody is a vegan or vegetarian, they have to aim to have almost twice as much iron consumption to just get the same amount of iron in the system as somebody who is consuming a combination of heme and non-heme iron on a non-vegetarian diet. So there's a couple of ways we can look at this, right? If you want to take a supplement to help you out here, you can certainly look at something like the iron bisglycinate from Thorne Research. I recommend that one specifically because there's various forms of iron supplements you can take, of course, some of which are going to create a lot more digestive disturbances than others and can be constipating for many people. Iron bisglycinate is the most gentle and least problematic in that department. Now, if we're looking at food sources, an interesting source actually to talk about is shellfish, because they are something that's acceptable to some vegetarians because they don't have a brain. And these are also a source that has a mix, interestingly, of heme and non-heme iron. So you get a bit coming from both worlds. So for some people, that's a helpful solution to incorporate. Then, if we want to look at the absolute highest sources of iron, especially of heme iron, we're going to look at liver and other organ meats. Now, some people are very happy to cook these up and eat them. Some people are averse to that for whatever reason. Many reasons out there I can understand. And then you can look at taking them in capsules. There's more and more companies doing them in this form these days, and that's very good because I think this is helping a lot of people get some of these health benefits. So you could look at supplementing with those in addition to taking certain other steps. Now, going away from the animal food world, if we're just limited to boosting up our iron from non-animal sources, what are we going to do? Liquid chlorophyll would be a great starting point. And then look at the algae. Look at spirulina and chlorella, which are very high in iron. Again, it's non-heme iron, but they're very good sources of this. Then you could look at pumpkin seeds and quinoa. Beets and cacao are also very good blood-building foods. And then we can look into the Chinese medicinal world and look at what foods here are considered traditionally blood builders. This would be things like longan fruit, and then also astragalus and hoshu wu, and then bupleurum and peony. And those two go together, bupleurum and peony. It's one name for bupleurum and peony. They're two different herbs, but it's one name for a traditional formulation of more herbs than just those two. And this is a very powerful blood-building and hormone supportive formulation. So that's something to consider doing as well. And I hope that you get this situation sorted out with all of these different tools as quickly as possible, because I've seen so many women, especially vegan and vegetarian, who struggled with anemia, and you can see it very often in somebody's face, and you just feel bad because you see that they are just so depleted. And so I hope that with some of these tools, you will be able to get your iron up higher and not be in a situation of iron deficiency anemia, because it's a tough situation that so many people get stuck in. But there's some shifts that you can make that can get you into a much better place very quickly.